Abusiafo aha eye Ghanatube so ensem a ekoso ewo Ghana four corners ni gina no eno na channel we de ebro matenase fefefe mekako medensem aba abusiafo entempa ni dimechi na yenkotie ensem bia ekoso ewo omani.
Now, governments and key oil and gas partners have signed a landmark memorandum of understanding to ensure that extend production licenses for the Jubilee and 10 oil fields until 2040. The agreement marks a significant milestone in Ghana's energy sector, paving the way for continued investment and long-term development of the country's petroleum industry. The MOU was signed between the government of Ghana, Tullow Oil PLC, Cosmos Energy, Petro SA, the Ghana National Petroleum Company, and its subsidiary Explorco. It covers the West Cape 3 points, the deep water tunnel blocks, which include the flagship Jubilee and 10 oil fields. As part of the agreements, the partners have received approval to drill up to 20 additional wells in the Jubilee field, representing a potential $2 billion investment over the life of the extended licenses. Canadian multinational Rectron Group Incorporated has announced plans to acquire a 60% controlling stake at AT Ghana Limited, signaling its entry into Ghana's telecommunications sector. This was contained in a statement issued by the group dated June 4, 2025, which states that a transaction, which is still subject to regulatory approval and due diligence, is being pursued in partnership with local operator Afritel Ghana Limited. This strategic move aligns with Rectron's ambition to expand its global infrastructure portfolio and strengthen its presence in emerging markets. The company views Ghana's rapidly evolving digital economy and increasing demand for connectivity as key growth drivers.
President John Mahama has revealed that the introduction of the 1 Ghana cedi levy on petroleum products will not result in immediate fuel price increases at the pumps. Speaking during a presentation of the final report on the National Economic Dialogue, the president indicated that the adjustment is necessary and justifiable. Channel 1 News' presidential correspondent Akusia Otre reports.
Exactly 3 months after government held the National Economic Dialogue, the committee turned to the seat of government to present its final report detailing recommendations to restoring Ghana's economy. Chairman of the National Economic Dialogue Planning Committee, Dr. Ishmael Yamson, is optimistic that the report will support the president's efforts to reset the economy.
We're excited to know that even before we have the opportunity to present the final report to you, some of the key recommendations which were fed into the 2025 budget are already being implemented with spectacular results. The recent rapid recovery of the value of the cedi against major currencies has astounded many people who doubted the government's resolve to reset Ghana and its economy. Naturally, the question being asked is whether this is just a blip.
Speaking on the rationale behind the recent introduction of the 1 cedi on the energy sector levy, President John Mahama acknowledged the public's concerns but emphasized that the decision was crucial to securing Ghana's energy future.
Parliament yesterday approved an amendment to the Energy Sector Levies Act and a certificate of urgency introducing a 1 cedi Ghana cedi increase in the energy sector recovery levy. This decision, though difficult, is necessary and justifiable. The additional revenue projected is 5.7 billion cedis annually. This revenue will be strictly ring-fenced to pay down legacy energy debt, finance ongoing fuel purchase, and avert the risk of recurring power shortages. Funds from this levy will not be subject to the hazards of the consolidated fund. And the minister is here. I know when money falls into the consolidated fund, it faces certain hazards. It will not be subject to the hazards of the consolidated fund. The fund will be regularly audited and audit reports made public to ensure its transparent use.
He also indicated that fuel prices will not increase immediately as a result of the levy.
With the ongoing developments in the upstream sector, we expect to receive more gas from our ENI Sankofa and Jubilee and 10 fields. With also the assurance of additional gas through the West African gas pipeline, we expect to substantially reduce the use of liquid fuels in our energy mix. At that stage, the resources generated by this increased levy will be channeled to pay down accumulated legacy debts in the power sector.
Healthcare delivery nationwide is reeling under the impact of the strike by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. The industrial action has halted services at the outpatients departments of major health facilities nationwide, leaving patients frustrated. More in the following report.
The strike, which has entered day 3, stems from delay by the government to implement a 2024 collective agreement which contains provisions for the conditions of service for nurses and midwives, including a 13th-month salary, fuel and medical allowances, and renewal of their practicing licenses by government. Channel 1 News' checks at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital in Accra reveal a non-operational OPD as patients expressed concern about its impact.
It's unfortunate for me because my BP drugs are finished, so I wanted to come so that they can direct me to a doctor for them to write some prescription for me. But unlucky for me, they are on strike, so I have no other choice than to go home. With them, I can use the National Health to buy some of the drugs and purchase some free, but for now, I have to buy all of them. And it's not easy. Being a dialysis patient and buying drugs, it's not easy. So
what will your call to the striking work?
We are begging them to come back. We are pleading with them. In God's name, we are pleading with them to come back. They have no other choice than to help us. So we are begging them to come back.
The situation is no different in the Ashanti region, where services at health facilities, including the Menchia and South Central hospitals, have been significantly disrupted. Here, patients waited in long queues and, in some cases, were turned away.
When somebody comes in, we need to triage the patient. That is, we need to know their vitals, the BP, the fasting blood or running, their weight, their height, and this is all done by our nurses. Once they are not here, that is a difficulty. Those who have been replacing them, we need to have some experience. So yes, we are trying to help modifying, but it's quite a difficult one. So the most impact is from the triage. It's quite a difficult one.
Consequently, some hospitals like the Ifiam Kwanta Hospital in Sekendi in the Western region are relying on rotational nurses for essential services as patients re-echoed the troubling impact of the strike.
So we came for a child welfare clinic, but we were not attended to because the nurses say they are on strike.
Did you have to stop something that you were doing?
Yes, I had to leave school and then come for the clinic. So I left my job and then came for the child welfare clinic.
What have you got to do? The striking nurses and
Okay, so to the government, I think whatever the nurses are demanding, you should give it to them so that they can get back to work. And then to the nurses, we are pleading with them that they should also reconsider their decisions.
As concerns continue to intensify, health authorities in the Volta region, where the situation remains same, have warned against the involvement of unauthorized personnel in the provision of health care. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has appealed to the association to call off their strike for further negotiations on their demands.
This committee has been accepted by the nurses. However, they said they will serve on the committee, all right, but they will still embark on the strike. We are appealing to them to go back to work whilst we have this negotiation. It is important to note that since the coming into office of the Honorable Minister for Health, Honorable Kobinamit Dakando, the document we are talking about, we have not sat with them together with the Ministry of Finance to look at the document. They are just saying that because it was discussed by the previous administration, it has to be signed. The minister is just appealing and pleading with them that it's important for him to also know what actually went into the negotiation so that he would advise his colleague going forward. We must know that the health sector, we have 80 to 90 health professionals, and if you come to office, you must look at what is there.
Madam Asapa, some Mudimechi, and my quotier and some no with me an opportunity I share with views on the issues at our comment section. Now you better break akinkan ni na ede amount fefe as na mesori musono mema owe fi se obe subscribe na wa hit notification link ne so ede amount fefe afenso mema owe fi so obe share ne fefe ebusanfo aha eye Ghanatube sena mdigan kan modofo snow mi na mtena se ede nsem no employment sisi ade makamo.